In January of 2024, I started a video and photo production business while also trying to grow my already existing wedding photography business. So after being a professional photographer and videographer for about 10 years and having existing business and now starting a new one, I have learned a lot of lessons along the way and with many more left to learn. And because I have many lessons left to learn, I will be documenting and reporting on my business and being just overall a small business owner over the course of 2025. The goal will be to release one video each week, reporting on how my business did the previous week, thoughts I have about what happened and what I learned, and forecasting into the upcoming week about what I've got coming up. In order to keep it consistent and to have some kind of measurables to look back on, especially at the end of the year, I have some numbers that I will be reporting at the same way each week. Numbers to report from the previous week. I'm going to report on cold calls, the clients I haven't made any sort of contact with yet. I want to report on the number of follow-ups I made. So clients I'd already talked to at some point, maybe we sent a quote to them and we haven't heard anything back yet. So I'm setting up a follow-up to see where they're at in the process. The number of interest meetings that I had last week, that means somebody that we've talked to, we maybe not sent a quote to yet, but they're interested in seeing what kind of work we can do for them. And we're seeing if they have any needs for their business that we can also fulfill. I'm going to report on the number of pre-production meetings that we've had. That means that is a client that has signed the contract, paid a deposit, and now we are meeting to figure out how we're going to create this project for them. What shoots I had last week, so any shoots that we had, kind of report on how those went, any lessons I learned from those. Then report on the number of finalized projects we delivered to clients. So final delivery to that client, the project is done, all the money's been paid, and we're done with that project, ready to move on to the next one. And then forecasting into the upcoming week. In that section, I think there'll be less numbers to report just because it's forecasting. I won't have hard numbers yet, but I do want to predict the number of cold calls I have to make, or maybe just like I have this number of leads that I know I'll be reaching out to. Any follow-ups that I need to send, we've already sent a quote, haven't heard back yet, and Monday, Tuesday is the time to send follow-ups, to circle back with potential clients. What shoots I have coming up, what I'm excited about, and kind of what we'll be doing leading into those shoots. And then what editing I have to do. So we've already shot the project and now it's time to put it together. And then maybe kind of, if I'm in the middle of an edit, kind of report on how that edit is going. Maybe let you in a little bit of the behind the scenes on that as well. Speaking of behind the scenes, I want to show a lot of behind the scenes stuff from our projects. It's something that over the past year we have not really prioritized. We're a very small team. It's me and my good friend and trusted business partner. Pretty much us two, often maybe just one of us even on these projects. And so that's really hard to get behind the scenes footage while you're also trying to produce as well. So we'd like to do more behind the scenes stuff because people like to see that kind of thing. The reporting section of each of these videos where I talk about the numbers and what I have looking up, forward to the next week, I want to keep that really short. Why? Do I want to have just 1.5 to 2 minute videos each week? No. The secondary reason I'm making these videos is to talk about things that I've always wanted to talk about. Things that I always, unfortunately for my wife, info dump on her or other professionals, in the area, friends that I have who also do this kind of work. I can talk about this kind of stuff all day. Those topics can range from like gear reviews, philosophy of photography, your thought process behind why you shoot things the way that you do, or why you choose gear that you choose, that kind of thing. Filmmaking tips and tricks. I have some things that I've learned along the way that I feel like might be helpful to pass on anybody else who might be watching these types of videos. Business and sales education. This is something I'm very early on in the process of learning. I've still got a lot left to learn, but there are some things I picked up along the way that I think would be helpful to pass on to somebody else doing this kind of work and trying to make a living from it. Maybe some hot takes. I got a lot of hot takes, as most photographers and videographers do. So I, might do some kind of listicle type videos on that. So, be on the lookout for that kind of thing as well. But the main thing is, every video will have a main topic that is about photography or videography. I'm not going to make this a variety channel where I also talk about books or movies or dogs or whatever, I want to keep it focused on anything that you can do with a camera. So any kind of photography, videography stuff, that's what this channel will be about. So you know what you're getting into when you click on one of my videos. Furthermore, I will also be adding a for photographers section to my already existing website. We do have a website for our commercial business, but because we've only been in business for about a year, it's pretty light, and I don't want that website to be loaded down with stuff that potential clients wouldn't care about. So gear reviews and stuff like that. I don't want that to live on our company's website. So on my wedding photography website, lyleandcophoto.com, I'll put that link in the description. I would like to add a for photographers section where I kind of do written companion pieces to the videos. So if I do a gear review on a long-term review on the Fujifilm X-T5, which I think is going to be one of my first videos I make this year, I will make a written version of that will go along on my website. Ideally would be released on the same day that the video is also put out, so that can be included in, as a link in the description of the video. But I think they'll also help with some SEO for my website, to get more potential wedding clients. And will also just kind of be a one-stop shop for people who are looking for gear reviews or any other, type of content that has to do with that kind of thing. If the topic is about commercial video, video production, which is not what my wedding photography business does, I probably won't put that on the website. Maybe find another place for that to live. Maybe on the company website. I don't know. We're still figuring this out. We've only been in business for a year, and this whole venture is very new to me. But that's why I want to make these videos, is so that people can come along with me while I figure it out and kind of see my growth along the way. Which is another reason I'm making these videos, is to create a type of community, some kind of people who consistently come back to my videos and my content and interact with me, because that's always that's very fun to watch from smaller creators. Another point is that these videos are not going to be super highly produced. I do too much high production value on my commercial work and my filmmaking work, and frankly, I'm just not going to make any money from this YouTube channel, at least not for a while, to justify me spending that amount of time and effort into making this like a big production. I got one light on right now. I've got one camera filming me. Even then, this feels like a little bit too much. So I'm going to try to figure out ways to kind of streamline that process so I can get videos out a lot quicker. Okay, so why am I doing all this? I have 4 main reasons, and so I'm going to go through those. Number 1, I've already mentioned, creating and fostering a community. I think that's a really cool thing to see on YouTube. Is one of the reasons that I love to watch a lot of YouTube content, which is another reason. Reason number 2, I love watching YouTube, and it's if you consume something long enough, you eventually find yourself wanting to be a part of that, wanting to make your own kind of corner of that community. And so that's kind of, what I'm trying to do right now. Reason number 3, I want to get better at being in front of the camera. I've been behind the camera for like 10 years now. And anytime I have to get in front of it, I'm very not comfortable with it. And so I kind of see this as an exercise, a repeated exercise in getting more comfortable doing that kind of thing. I love being behind the camera. I love creating. I love, taking photos and videos. But there might come a time where maybe I want to act in something. Maybe I want to be, in front of the camera in some way. And so I think this will be a way to kind of help me get more comfortable with doing something like that. Okay? And then finally, reason number 4, and this I think might be the most important reason for me as a business owner, it's going to give me some more discipline and motivation. Anybody who's self-employed or just, doing any kind of work where there's not a boss or anybody kind of checking in on projects you're working on knows that can be very easy to procrastinate, to get distracted, to make excuses as to why you can't do something. And so I think if I know I will be letting myself down if I don't make a video every week, by not reporting on these numbers, it'll help me stay consistent with making YouTube videos, one, but also make me, more disciplined with being a business owner as well. Not being able to slack off. If I come back on a video one week and I say, hey, I made 0 cold calls and I had, 0 production meetings, that might look bad for me, and I'll have to make excuses for that, or just look back and be like, why did I do that? What did I slack off on this week, and how can I be better? And so I think that'll help me do that as well. Okay, this is getting a little too long. So if any of this intrigues you, and if you'd like to come along with me on this journey, and as well as kind of hear a lot of my opinions on different, these main topics like I talked about in these videos. Okay, my microphone died at the very end. All I was trying to say was, if you want to follow along in that journey, please subscribe if you want to. If not, I will probably see you in the algorithm 6 months from now.